Hey guys, how you doing? I'm going to spend 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. I'm going to take questions. We're going to do like a Q&A and see what I can help you guys with today. But I'm just packing up. I'm getting ready to go home. As I'm packing up, thought I'd talk to you guys for a few minutes. Because I didn't get to do a live stream. I did the live audio today. But guys, if you have any questions, ask me. As I'm packing up to go home, I'm going to take 10 minutes, but 10 minutes only, okay? I'm seriously going to keep it to 10 minutes, so I'm leaving at 6:25, okay? 6:15. So if you have questions, ask, whatever you're curious about, and health-related, right? Health-related, things we're talking about, really anything. If you have questions about your thyroid, guys, you got to understand those. Some of these questions that you have, it's okay to ask, but I may not be able to answer them because it's really hard to give an answer about someone says, hey, I've got this problem, and they tell you their story in like one sentence, and it's way harder than that, and that's completely inadequate to actually answer a question about someone's health potentially, okay? Hey Karen, how you doing, Lori? So I just want you to know, like, I'll answer some questions, but some things I'll let you know if it's, they're not the right form, or if I just don't have enough information. It's really hard. People say, well, hey, I've got like, I'm really tired and I can't lose weight. What's wrong? It's like it could be anything. It could be so many things. So, hey Christine, hope you're doing well. So I hope you guys are, you can ask questions, but you got to understand that it's very difficult to answer some questions, without enough information. It's why, anyone that's worked with me, they know, like, you have to fill out all these forms, and it's like you never filled out so many forms. That's because I have to gather information to make decisions. So that's really important to know. Hey Tori, so Tori says, hey, what's the best way to deal with hot flashes and to know that it's not your thyroid? Okay, so Tori, this is really one where we need to do some interaction here. Like I need to get some feedback. So best way to deal with hot flashes and know it's not your thyroid. So okay, your thyroid, usually a few different things can cause hot flashes, but like, Tori, can you tell me, would you mind posting it in the comments? Are you menopausal? Are you where are you as far as you still menstruating, or are you menopausal? Because that will make a difference. And if you don't want to share that, it's okay, no worries. But it's a little bit different depending on if you're menopausal or postmenopausal, or I should say menopausal or premenopausal. The other thing is are you having, is it more sweating? Like sweating attacks, do you sweat a lot, or is it more that you get really, really hot? And sometimes you have to think about it, because a lot of people, they just might sweat and they think that that's automatically associated with heat, but it's not always associated with heat. Sometimes people will just perspire a lot and they're like, I'm not really hot, when they really think about it and they observe it. So are you sweating, or are you like really hot, or is it both? Okay, so I'm gonna look. No cycle. Okay, so no cycle for 6 months. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so like this probably like around menopause. So can you tell me, do you have like hot flashes, like where you get really hot, or are you just perspiring a lot? Because there's two different things. Okay, so you're feeling really hot for a few minutes. Okay, so you get really hot, and are you sweating with it? Is it sweating associated too? Hey guys. So yeah, Tori, if you get a second, just type in like if you're sweating, like yes, sweating, or not much sweating. You can elaborate more if you want to. Okay, Tori, that's awesome. See, now this gives me better information. So let me explain what you commonly see. So when you see that let me tell you why there are usually hot flashes during perimenopause and menopause, like that like perimenopausal time period. It's because of spikes of estradiol. So your estrogen, it surges in estrogen. These estrogen surges create the hot flashes. Now a lot of people have been told, well, you're having the hot flashes because you have deficiencies in estrogen. Because you're not making estrogen, right? They tell you that. But guys, if you had, think about this for a second. If you actually had hot flashes due to not making enough estrogen or low estrogen, every menopausal woman in the world would have hot flashes. No, once you're through menopause and your estrogens are low, you're actually, there's no hot flashes. So it's just completely ridiculous that it's not because of low estrogens. It's because of spikes. It's because your estrogen, your ovaries are losing their ability to produce your estrogens at a normal level. So you're getting these surges and spikes in estrogen. That will cause a hot flash. Now, if it's associated with sweating, now the sweating is usually adrenal related. Okay, adrenal related. So what I will say is what's the best thing I'll say? Okay, so Tori. So Tori, here's the deal. There's a lot of different factors here. So this is how I have to preface this. In similar cases, okay, now I don't know if you're taking hormone replacement therapy or what you're doing right now, but let me just say this. In similar cases, so it's not specific to you, but in similar cases, I might recommend a product that has estrogen modulating benefits. So if you have too much estrogen, it helps to clear it. If you don't have enough estrogen, it helps you to have a little bit better sensitivity to it. And then I would also use herbs that help to improve the endocrine feedback. Okay, so what I mean by that is your ovaries produce estrogen because the brain and the pituitary gland produce hormones that the ovaries are sensitive to and that signal them to make estrogen. Okay, so these are like the three things that I do in similar cases. I make sure that the essential fatty acid levels are adequate, so that there's no deficiencies in essential fatty acids. So we're usually taking fish oils at pretty high levels. Usually I'm focusing on EPA, which is essential. EPA is one of the essential fatty acids at least 1,200 milligrams per day. Okay, so that's one thing. So essential fatty acids. Second thing is I use products that have combinations of herbs. So rather than just talking about one herb, I'll tell you that I like some of the supplements that I like to use to help improve estrogen sensitivity and to clear estrogens and to improve this feedback mechanism. The feedback loop in the brain is something called Opticrine. It's Opticrine. It's made by Epigenetics. Now you have to have a physician to get that. Like you cannot. They're a physician only company, but it's called Opticrine through Apex. And then, but what you could do is, I'm giving you this because you could Google it, though you can't buy it. You can look at the ingredients on the back. I mean, really, I like to use Opticrine to improve the feedback loop. So the brain, the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, ovarian feedback loop. I like to use Opticrine, and then I like to use Estrovite. I'm going to get choked here on nothing except my own saliva here. I like to use Estrovite. Okay, so just let me kind of repeat that. Good essential fatty acids. In a similar case, what I might do is make sure essential fatty acid levels are good. Okay, so I use a fish oil where I'm focusing on about 1,200 milligrams of EPA. Okay, which is, you can look at the back and you can see how much EPA is in it per serving. I would use Opticrine, which is a combination of herbs that's used to improve the hormonal feedback loop. So the hypothalamic, which is a central structure in the brain that helps to coordinate hormonal release, your endocrine system, that helps to improve hypothalamic, pituitary gland, and ovarian axis. They call it the axis. It's a feedback loop. So when one hormone goes up, other hormones go down, and the brain coordinates the production. Okay, so you're at this point where your ovaries are not as sensitive, most likely what's going on, and in a similar case where ovaries are not as sensitive. So we want to try to optimize that feedback loop, and then we want to improve sensitivity to the hormones at the level of the ovaries. So I'll use something like Estrovite, made by Apex Energetics. Very, very good supplements that have combination of herbs to help with balancing those things. That might be like a first-line protocol, and then I would also, in a similar case, I would make sure, absolutely 100% sure, that blood sugar is as stable as can be, because the one thing that's going to wreck hormones and adrenals faster than anything is going to be blood sugar dysregulation. So that would really, really do it. So I hope that helps you, Tori. Let me just see. Okay, and so Tori, what's the best thing to take if you're worried about too much estrogen? Um, I would tell you that you really need to get those levels checked before you start using anything. Like I really want you guys to be as specific as possible. Like I try to be not recommend just a bunch of supplements, because supplements, they're safer. They have a safer they're safer to take, like with less risk than obviously prescriptive medications. The reason that prescriptions are prescriptions is because they have a higher risk profile, so you can injure yourself easier with them. So they have to be taken more carefully. But supplementation, you still want to take it. You still want to be conservative, and you don't want to take stuff you don't need. But Tori, let me tell you, in a similar case where I'm worried about higher estrogen levels, I will recommend supplements that contain DIM, which is an acronym DIM, and I3C. Okay, those are found in high levels, high doses in cruciferous vegetables. So the brassica families, you're talking like cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, things like that. And those are very, very high in those compounds, and they help and they will speed the elimination of estrogens. So effectively, what will happen though is if you take those supplements, it can actually clear them faster than you may want them cleared. But you just, that's why you really kind of need to know if it's needed. So that's one thing I would do. Tori, you know what? Do I sell what I'm talking about? I do recommend those supplements, and I do sell them to people that need them, that I'm working one-on-one with. But I'm sorry, but I don't we don't sell those to just the public. And I mean, it's no, and I hope you understand. It's like, what I try to do is I try not to work. I'm only working with like 2 to 4 one-on-one people per month right now. We're working with people in groups, going through our detoxification program, and we're trying our best to help as many people as we can without being completely overwhelmed and inundated. So we don't I could probably come on here and sell a bunch of supplements and stuff, but I don't. I just really want you to know that I want you to only use stuff that you need. And also for us, what we're trying to have balance. I mean, it's like I gotta leave here in just a second, but I'm trying to create balance, and so we don't sell the supplements. I'm sorry, but you can Google it, like Estrovite, Opticrine, and then most essential fatty acids, but they have to be I like Apex Energetics. If you were staying with the same line, they have a essential fatty acid supplement called Omega Co3. That's amazing. It's an emulsified liquid form, so it's emulsified, so it absorbs right through the mucous membranes of the body. It doesn't have to go through the GI tract. It's amazing. It's very, very, very good. They make some of the best supplements in the world. So I'm sorry, but I hope that helps you. Hey Carmen, hope you're doing well. Past menopause. So, guys, okay, so, and then Tori, let me just say one other thing. Guys, this is probably the only question I'm going to be able to answer, because I promised I would only stay on here 10 minutes. I gotta get home. Tori, the other thing that you had mentioned about, so how do we know it's not thyroid related? So you can see it, and I have seen hot flashes with Hashimoto's. So when someone has autoimmune attacks against the thyroid, what can end up happening is that it can spike their levels of thyroid hormone, increasing their metabolic rate, causing symptoms of hyperthyroidism. But it can also, they can have I've seen where it seems like they have these like hot flashes from spikes in thyroid hormone levels. And the way that it occurs is, if you have Hashimoto's, the immune system attacks the gland, destroys some of the cells, they spill their contents into the bloodstream, spiking your metabolic rate or your metabolism, because the thyroid hormone that was in the cells, when the cells are destroyed, it dumps that into the bloodstream. So you effectively, for a day or two or a few days, you have higher thyroid hormone levels, which may cause a spike in your metabolism, and it may cause increased body temperature, even some hyperthyroid symptoms. And then over time, as the autoimmune attack subsides and you start burning through that excessive hormone, the levels come down, and then you might go hypo again. And it's kind of like this roller coaster. It's really difficult sometimes for people with Hashimoto's, because even in Graves is bad as well, because the autoimmune attack is not a constant thing. It's a spiking and it's a surging and a dipping problem for sure. Okay, so trying to stay on Tori's questions, guys. You have that too. Just because, okay, guys, I promised I was only going to stay on here 10 minutes. And I know I said 6:25. It's already 6:20. It's way past already. I've already been on here for like 14 minutes, haven't I? Okay, guys. So I promise I'll look at your comments and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. But I think I hope hopefully I can help you guys. Christine sounds awesome. GP who practices wellness and conventional medicine. Yeah, if that's what someone tells you, like you're getting the kind of information I'm sharing with you guys, you probably got someone that's going to be able to help you out. So anyway, appreciate you guys so much. Hey Rose, I know you posted a ton of questions. I'm so sorry. I hope you're doing okay though since we last talked. And guys, I hope you guys have a good day. Alyssa, sorry. Lou, I'm sorry I didn't get to answer that. Guys, Raja says, hey, how can I get help like you in the UK? Guys, I mean, I do distance consulting. I mean, most of my practice is based on working on people on the phone or via Skype or FaceTime, and we'll do video calls, and we can get testing done anywhere in the U.S. just about, except there are a few states that you can't get some of the standard blood work. But we can work with people. We can send test kits to you. So a lot of the stuff that we would do in the office, we can do with you anywhere that you are. So it's really, technology's shrunk the world. And if you're in other countries, we do work with people in other countries. We can send you test kits, and we can still work up a lot of these problems and help you. So there's a good chance that we could help you make a difference. But I just want to share that with you because a lot of people have been asking us. Raja was asking too, how can I get help like this in the UK? We can get testing. We've worked with people in the UK, Ireland, South Africa, Australia, the Middle East, where else? All through Europe, Scandinavia, where else? Hawaii. I mean, you name it. All through the U.S. So really, that's what my practice primarily consists of. Is working as far as working with people one-on-one, which I only take like 2 to 4 people. And if you guys are interested in that, I mean, that's something you want to explore. You can just check out our website at drbradship.com, and you have to click on the application for care page, and it will explain to you a lot about what we do. So I hope that helps you. Rose, Misty, I'm sorry. I'm not going to have time to answer this, but I will look at it. I promise you guys. If you guys like these like question and answer, then I'll try my best. See if we can't figure out a way to do this in a structured way to answer some of these questions for you guys. Hey Regina, I'm sorry I can't answer your question on gastric bypass. I've seen a bunch of people with gastric bypass, and it can be really challenging. I will do my best to answer that. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, Cynthia, how are you? Cynthia was asking about insurance. Cynthia, I can tell you, like, God, I could go on a long explanation on insurance. Do we accept insurance? It's not that we don't accept insurance. It's that insurance does not accept this type of health care. So it's not that I don't accept it, but we can't. There's certain things that may be able to file through. Like we don't file insurance at all anymore because when we were in network with insurances, everything was getting rejected. It was a huge hassle, and they're not paying for anything. So it is, it's one of those things where insurance is based on that, and really a model of identifying a disease process that's already pretty much an advanced problem, and paying for a procedure or a medication to support that. That's based off of their guidelines, which it helps people. But this is we're really trying to look at drivers of disease processes, and this is considered investigative to them. And I mean that's their prerogative. I mean it's so no, that we don't accept insurance because insurance basically doesn't accept this type of healthcare. Hey friend, saying thank you for that. Hey Miriam. Megan says DIM is excellent. Yes. Tori, you're welcome. If you don't have a thyroid at all, Melina, if you don't have a thyroid at all, then you're definitely going to have to be on a thyroid hormone replacement, but that's okay. You just have to make sure that the rest of the physiology is working well. So I want you to know that, like, I work with people that don't have thyroids. What we have to do is make sure that their thyroid hormone levels are adequate, that they're converting well, and you focus on the rest of the physiology. Can it be transported? Can it be used at the cell? Is there inflammation? Is there autoimmunity? Those are all things that we really look at. Christine, Christine, in similar cases where you get the same symptoms of spikes like hot flashes are typically due to spikes in estradiol or estrogens. Carmen, Tori. Okay, Brenda. All right, guys. So, Dawn, I'm so sorry. I see your comment, though. Esther, your feet have been hurting so bad. I'm not sure feet have been hurting, if that's neuropathy or what's happening. But guys, appreciate you guys a tremendous amount. I really got to go, though. I just want to hang out with you guys a little bit, try to answer some questions. You know, I think that this is probably one of the best ways that I can help you guys. I try to teach on different topics, but do my best. I appreciate all the likes and the shares and all the thumbs up and hearts you guys have been giving me. But if you guys, listen, if you guys need help or anything, we'll do the best we can for you. Post your questions here, and I'll try my best to get to them and answer them. If you want to learn a lot more about like toxins in the environment, things that we're really looking at, which I think are at epidemic levels, guys. If you've seen any of my live streams lately, you know I've been really focused on toxins. It's just a huge, huge issue that I think is completely being missed right now because no one's looking at it. No one's really considering it. No one's looking at the impact it's having on our health. And I think it's leading to a tremendous explosion in disease processes that, you know, we've got to take action and we've got to do something about it. Hey guys, Dr. Shook, thank you for viewing our videos. I hope they help you out. If you want to, just subscribe to our channel somewhere here. You can watch a video that YouTube's actually selected for you, so hopefully it'll help you out. If you need any other information or resources, just look in the description. We've got links to our website, to our 9 lab test guidebook, and everything else that we do. I really appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a great